In the midst of everyone being dead, I, the one who was supposed to be humanity's strongest warrior, am also dying. I really don't deserve the title of the strongest warrior because I had almost killed all the 7-finned. So, why is it that in the steel of the ancient king, there was an 8-finned demon? We humans really failed to understand the extent of these demons' powers. Continued to says that it was his fault, that he had failed to live up to the name of the strongest. The 8-finned demon looked at him with golden eyes. Wondered what it was trying to do. It flew and landed right in front of him, reaching towards him. Thought it was going to torment his corpse because of what he did. Darkness overwhelms him and soon he woke up in an unfamiliar place. Where am I? Didn't I just die? It doesn't feel like a dream. This feels so realistic. What's happening? Isn't this my face? Where's my handsomely plugged face and gorgeous physique? Who am I? Where am I? He was in Helios City. If you understand what taking part in the warrior exam signifies, it's protection. Helios City's 3rd Squadron leader, Jin No Tang, in the year 3069, after the enormous steels of the ancient king brought the apocalypse to our world, thousands of demons flooded out from them and slaughtered us humans. After experiencing the brutal battle in which humans were nearly driven to extinction, humanity finally managed to come up with a way to fight against these demons: grafting equipment. By recycling the internal cores of these demons, humanity was able to utilize the grafting equipment to temporarily obtain strength on par with those demons. 60 years ago, our greatest and strongest human soldier, the man who all warriors hailed as their leader, took charge of all warriors around the world. They battled in what would eventually be known as the strongest demonic wave in history. The battle raged on for many weeks, and humanity was plunged into darkness. Finally, humanity's warriors managed to push back the demonic wave, causing the demons to suffer a tremendous loss in exchange for 60 years of peace and progress for mankind. I've reincarnated 60 years later? I exclaimed. But at the same time, we've lost countless heroic warriors. Even the strongest warrior, was said to have died in battle against several highest-ranked 7-finned demons. Therefore, this battle between humanity and demons represents mankind's tenacity and determination to bring forth the dawn of a new era. This was recorded in history as the Battle for Dawn. Recalled his memory. No, that's not right. The 7-finned demon was not just the highest-ranked demon but an even higher-finned one. I didn't get a clear look, but I saw it. Humanity has not understood the extent of the demon's capabilities. Jin No Tang continues his speech. Without them, we would not have survived until now. We would have neither our homeland nor our current lives if not for them. Warriors, pillars of society who embody protection, do you understand what becoming one means now? Everyone shouted, "Yes, sir." Mumbled to himself, saying this isn't right, catching the attention of the commander. He looks at him while he was mumbling and went to him, telling he doesn't seem to understand what a warrior entails, asking what his name was. Hesitates to answer him, thinking, would anyone believe that we are reincarnated 60 years later into this weak and skinny body? The command spoke. I never would have thought. This is an insult to that great name. You have the same name as the greatest warrior, You're just a stupid bastard who doesn't have a single ounce of a warrior's spirit. And yet, you dare to desecrate that great name. How dare you, yells as he punches straight in the face. Thought to himself as he flew from the punch. Is this body really so trash that it can't even react to such a simple attack? But I can't believe this body has the same name as me. Lands onto someone. The commander begins to walk away, saying, I'll be keeping an eye on you in the upcoming warrior examination. Attention! Everyone replied, yes, sir. Make your way to the examination grounds. I'm still alive, at least. Says to himself. The man holding says, your name's right? It's a nice name. I'm Lon Snow. Nice to meet you. TCH. He's called You aren't any better. Did you think sharing a name would make you as strong as said by Situliu, an evaluation soldier. How childish, she says as she leaves them. She's pretty stuck up, isn't she? My name is none of her business. Replied angrily. Snow mentions, do you not know who she is? She's the most promising warrior in our batch. Situliu is known as the cold-blooded demon and is also the eldest daughter of the most renowned martial arts family in Helios City, the Situ family. Situ, how does that name sound familiar? Thinks to himself as he pulls himself up. A bright flash covers them. Thanks. Whoa! What a dazzling display of brotherhood. Don't mind me. Please continue. Asks who she was as he get a nosebleed. Snow asked if she just took the photo. An said that's not the point right now, and she says she did take the photo. She introduces herself as Suejo Yui, saying that the radiating bromance they had totally entranced her, making for good material. The guys think of her as a dimwit. At the fitness test venue, An is excited, saying my body may be in this state, but I'm ultimately still the strongest warrior. This test is easy, so just you wait. I'll definitely stun everyone by obtaining monstrous grades. First round of tests. Stage 1 of the fitness test, long-distance endurance test. Begin. An dashes forward, thinking to attain first place from just a single spurt of energy has to be record-breaking. An managed to break a record, the record of being in last place and having the worst record in the history of the long-distance assessment. Everyone laughed at An as he drops onto the ground. Fitness test stage 2, explosive arm strength test. F-duck, I sprained my wrist. Oh, I sprained my wrist. An, last place, was announced. Fitness test stage 3, explosive leg strength test. An had only managed to jump 1 meter, making it 3 out of 3, last place. Idiot, said Situ. An, your results for the fitness test put you in last place. You've obtained the worst results we've ever seen. You'll be eliminated. Brother An. Snow consoles An while Suejo says, is this the last time I'll be able to snap pictures of the place? That guy's results are simply awful. We can eliminate him right now, said a judge. There isn't much hope for that lanky monkey, but he does have the right to participate in the second round of tests. This will probably be his final assessment too. Let's begin with the second round, the commander replied. Next up, the second round of tests. You will be assessed on your synchronization with grafting equipment. Warrior examinees, please make your way to the testing venue. An smiled at the news, believing he has a chance. 60 years ago, the strongest with stable average synchronization rate of 96% and above, said An, this body isn't fit at all, but the synchronization rate is determined by one's willpower. Bunch of bastards mocked me. Just you wait and see. I'll show you the levels of synchronization rate that the strongest warrior can achieve, he said, filled with motivation. So this is what the grafting equipment looks like 60 years later. It's gotten a little lighter, An thought to himself. 39% synchronization rate. As expected of the strongest rookie of this year, Situ is in a martial arts family after all. I heard she's been undergoing harsh training since she was young. Nah, that's talent. Do you think you can get the top score on every test with hard work alone? Did you see her earlier? She's really pretty with a ponytail. I like it when her hair's loose, too. She's from a great family, she's strong, and she's beautiful. We really are background characters, huh? She's truly an unattainable flower. The crowd continues to talk. Not bad, Situ Liu. You got whopping 39%. Everyone at earlier, I'm sure it caused a sensation. I don't mind having more admirers, but it's still better to be low-key. Calm down, calm down. Situ Liu, you gotta keep your cool, she said to herself. As impressive as it is, this is only the assessment, but she already managed to get a synchronization rate of 39%. She's really strong, isn't she? Snow says. She's full of energy. I can feel the raging, imposing force hidden beneath her slender body. Snow continues to say. I can feel it too, said An. You don't seem nervous at all, though, Snow asked An. Oh, I'm good. I'm used to it, An replied. Used to it? Snow is surprised. As the assessment progressed, many rookies who endured the grafting equipment showed pained expressions, remarked someone. When one first undergoes grafting, a burden will be placed on the body due to the impact of the demonic core. Unable to withstand the pain, some would forfeit, explained another. I give up. I give up, I forfeit, yelled Suejo. The synchronization rate needs to reach at least 10% for one to pass, said another person. Synchronization rate 24%, announced someone, making Snow pass the test. Of course, there were some unexpected scores too, added another. Suejo, warrior examinee. The synchronization rate is 30%. You have passed. We have found some seedlings with great potential this time, the commander says. Yes, including Suejo Yui, this assessment has already seen 6 examinees with a synchronization rate of and above. Compared to other C-rank cities, our current batch of rookie warriors is of pretty good quality, the lady reports. However, there are some inferior ones here too. As Ang walks up the stage, the crowd starts to talk, saying, "Hey, it's that Ang guy's turn. Given his physique, I bet he'll vomit blood on the spot because of the burden on his body. Gah. Mama, in the first round of assessments, that idiot got last place in every single test. Laugh away, you inexperienced brats. Remember to pick up the used wipes from the floor later," Ang thinks to himself. "I'll take the red strength core." Ang tells the instructor. Demonic cores collected from the battlefield can be categorized into different types. The most common ones are red, yellow, green, and blue. Red represents strength, yellow represents defense, green represents healing, and blue represents agility. However, there are two rare types of cores. The purple core represents imaginary power, and the black core represents time and space. The black core is especially hard to find. As for synchronization, the most important thing is willpower. The strength of one's willpower determines how much burden one can take from the demonic core. Moreover, it also determines one's mastery over the core. Grafting has succeeded. "Are you ready?" the instructor asks An. "Yes, bring it on," An replies. A bright red light soon shines throughout the testing zone. What a strong reaction. Take a look. Take a look at the synchronization rate of the strongest soldier. An screamed in his mind. It has been increasing rapidly. It has already reached 40% in just a moment. 40%? Has anyone ever gotten a synchronization rate of 96% before? Raise it even higher. The instructors are yelling, in disbelief of what they are seeing. An forces himself to rise even further. What's going on? How could we be having such an absurd synchronization? Was there a mistake somewhere? The commander is shocked. It's still climbing. 65%. 70%, the lady reports. What's going on? 60% now? Is it me? Is the equipment malfunctioning? The crowd shouted, shocked by the results. I was once the strongest warrior, hailed as king by others, and if not for my low level of this synchronization, if not for my weak body, my imposing demeanor would have driven all of you to your knees. An stands up like a god and says, "That's the difference between you and me, brats." But a sudden feeling like sinking into the ocean overcomes him. What happened? My strength disappeared. I can't move anymore, An tells the instructor. What the hell? It really malfunctioned. The synchronization rate instantly dropped to 10%. Yelling at An. "Captain, we just detected that the demonic core is cracked. That abnormal core likely caused the data glitch." That was terrifying. The equipment was malfunctioning. The commander was relieved to hear that. What happened? My synchronization rate stopped at 10%, correct? He asked her. Yes. He barely passed, she replied. Brother An, Snow yells, rushing over to An. Exactly. That only happened because of the abnormal, demonic core. And here I was, thinking he's amazing. Bah, the crowd says. Brother An, are you alright? Snow asks as An faints. You have a point. Look at that scrawny body of his. How could he have gotten that absurd synchronization rate? That synchronization rate is comparable to that of a captain from an S-rank city. Ha ha ha, the crowd continues to make fun of An. False. I wouldn't have been so easily beaten by someone less dazzling than me in this town. Never allow it. It's all my fault. Why did I try to compete with those brats? I'm glad I managed to pass. An says as he rests in Snow's arm. In the resting area, An wonders to himself, what was that just now? It felt like it came from the depths of my heart. It sucked out all my power in an instant. I've never heard of such a situation before. I clearly had enough willpower to maintain a synchronization rate of at least 80%. Even if it was a demonic core of the lowest level, it shouldn't have cracked like that. So, why did it happen? The doors open, and a man yells. Attention! Everyone in the room responded, yes, sir. Yes, sir. The commander enters the room and says, congratulations on making it into the final round of assessments. The practical test. You will now face a demon for the first time in your lives. I hope everyone here can pass this test safely and smoothly. Line up and head to the venue of assessment, now. Go! An tries his best to walk out the room as the commander stands beside him, looking at him and thinks as he clenches the red gem. I'm really curious about you, An. I wonder what you'll show me in the next assessment, hunting in the fog beyond the walls. Out in the open, the students are gathered in front of a massive wall. Someone shouts to open the compound door. Whoa! My God, this is the first time I've left the city after 60 years. Everyone lives in such isolated cities. Do you think the areas outside the gates are always covered in fog? The students discuss among themselves. The instructors yells at them, be quiet and leave the city. You should spend your time checking your equipment instead, or you could end up dead without even knowing it. Checks his equipment and thinks to himself. They gave me another intact strength cope, but I don't think the problem lies in the cope. Back then, my power dissipated once. Something in my body rejected it. Just what is going on? Is it a side effect of transmigration? As he walks out the door, a sudden feeling overwhelms him. The moment he stepped foot outside, a signal was sent all over the area. The demon beasts all sense it. Deep within a cave, the signal reaches a powerful demon. The demon, sensing it, stood up from its seat of bones and bodies, and couldn't believe that there was another demon that outranked it. What is that? Were all those things I saw demons? At that moment, I felt as though something was resonating deep within my heart. Ang is terrified at what he felt just now. Are you moving or not? Situ asks Ang as she stood behind him. Ang says sorry. Brother Ang, what's wrong? Snow asked as he approached both of them. The instructor in front yells the four at the back. Group up. The rest of the students are prepared, so hurry up and get over here. The four of them rush to join the others. Oh. Was forming a team your strategy? Sujio asks Ang. No. I was just don't drag the team down, Situ tells Ang, but in fact she was feeling scared that nobody would want to team up with her. Let's go, brother Ang. We've got to do our best. Snow pats Ang back. The team is formed. Suijio says as she takes a selfie. Dispelling steel, a black steel made of a solid stone mixture. The stone contained within is a special substance that can dispel the fog. The instructor announces to the students. You will undergo a teamwork assessment in teams of 4. Make sure you all know what the test entails. It's venturing into the fog beyond the walls. Each team will now receive combat daggers as well as a mini fog dispelling device, made of the same material as the dispelling steel. Your mission is very straightforward. Enter the fog and make your way to the designated area. They have been marked with lights. Insert the device into the fog, hunt for demons. Your individual strength and cooperation will both determine whether you pass or fail this trial. Cooperation and individual strength are both crucial. All of you are now tasked with hunting in the fog beyond the walls. It is the terrifying trial rookies must face at the end. In this world covered in fog, the only way to survive is to have a strong team and the courage to face your fears. In the world covered in mist, the warriors are expected to face the unknown dangers that lurk in the mist. Good physique and skillfulness are not the only qualities needed to become a warrior. One also requires a strong mentality, fearlessness towards the fog, the ability to cooperate and rely on their team while facing the unknown, and the ability to overcome one's fears. To earn the title of warrior, the participants need to get a good look at the area, fight the demons that appear at random, and make their first kill. The speaker announces the assessment is over for one team, and the next team needs to get ready. A woman with orange hair is seen standing high above on the walls. She says out loud. There are lots of outstanding rookies in this batch. My target is clear, though. The only one I'm interested in is Sitalu from the Situ family. This was the Helios City 2nd Squadron leader Dada Gel. She turns and asks 2 others. How about you guys? A seedling from a martial arts family. If she's guided well, she might become a great warrior, replied by 1st Squadron leader Joel. There is another person worth watching out for, the commander said as he looks down at the students. He thinks to himself. I have sent it for checking, but there seems to be nothing wrong with the core. So what exactly happened back there? As Gel taps his head and says, what are you thinking about, Tang Tang? Don't call me that. Jean shouts while blushing. Joel says that Gel is the only one who can make you blush since the start, Tang Tan. The same goes for you. Jean says to Joel. On a side note, have the demons' grades been confirmed? We must ensure that the test venue only contains the finless demons we prepared beforehand. Gel asks the both of them. Yeah, don't worry. To ensure the participants' safety, we've checked over and over in the past few days that no one-fin demons are to be found within Helios City's vicinity. Jean replies. If one really appeared, we've got to do everything we can to protect this batch of future warriors, said by Joel as the 3 of them watch over the students. The instructor calls out to the next group saying that the current group had finished and that the venue has been set up. The crowd talks as the next group was with Sidhu and An. The four prepare themselves as An says that it's their turn now. Sidhu grabs the capsule from An, confusing him. She dashes forward quickly, turning back to tell them to follow her dazzling self. An is annoyed, wondering why she liked to have so much attention, and yells out to follow her. The three of them quickly chase after her. Sidhu jumps up high, flipping through the air before landing the capsule into the device. Jel says she has a recovery core, but her physique is no worse than those with the blue cores. Is this what the foundation of someone in a martial arts family looks like? 3 red demons roar as they dash towards Sidhu. An yells to Snow breakthrough. Snow replies got it. He preps himself before making a gigantic leap towards the demons, landing between them and Sidhu. The demons jump towards Snow as a yellow energy covers his fists. A yellow shield blocks the attack of the demons. Jean sees this and is impressed that Snow had gotten used to the core power. An arrives, telling Sidhu and Tomo to kill the demons one by one. They agreed. Covered in the aura of their stone, green, red and blue. The 3 of them rush to the demons. Round 1, Tomo versus the demon. She easily slices it up and dropkicks the demon straight to hell. Before the demon could even land on the ground, Snow uses the 1-inch punch to send it flying. Joel praises their teamwork from above, noting that the girl in blue has enhanced the rhythm in her movements in a perverted way. Jean calls him out. Round 2, Sidhu versus the demon. She leaps and stabs the demon on its belly, causing it to explode in a green explosion as she walks away. Round 3, An versus the demon. He knees the demon in the balls, thinking to strike its 3 vital areas first: the neck, chest and abdomen. As he rolls alongside the demon, knowing that his current body can only bring out a limited amount of power in one go, he thinks to use this battle to test his limits. He speeds over to the demon in an instant. The monster readies its fist to punch An as he dashes to it. An dodges the punch with ease. He returns a punch back to the monster, causing it to roar. He thinks that he didn't respond quick enough. The monster tries to kick An, but he dodges by bending backwards. He switches the knife to his left hand, turns over from the bent position, and stabs the monster in the stomach while thinking that his body coordination is poor as well. The monster shakes in pain and tries to claw it An, but he takes the knife out, leaping to the side, and slices the monster right in its mouth. The monster falls to the ground as An lands behind it, thinking he still doesn't have enough explosive power. The others look at him from the back. Snow says that he thinks An was just playing with his opponent, while Tomo hopes she captured Aang's fight on camera, and Sidhu thinks An just wanted to take the spotlight and was doing it on purpose. Up on the walls, Jel asks who the scrawny boy was and said that he was impressive. Joe adds on that Aang moves like a veteran as all 3 leaders looked at Aang. Jean remains silent. Back at the battle, Aang is sweating hard. He wipes his sweat, concluding that with this new body he would not be able to use any of his old skills, and that after moving a while he had already ran out of breath, making it worse. He takes a step forward as he finishes assessing himself. The monster was bleeding all over as Aang rushes towards it, telling it that it's time for it to die. But before he could reach it, something came out from the ground. The red spike appeared right before his eyes. It pierces the monster straight in its stomach as Aang was blown away from the impact. The team looks at it, wondering what it was as the tree roots surrounds them. A clawed hand emerges. Within the monster's body was 2 claws. It rips it apart, showing another monster inside. Aang is shocked to see this. The new monster slowly comes out. It lets out a bloody scream that could be heard all the way to the city. The leaders sense it. Jean felt it and showed signs of fear. He shouts out loud, "One fin demon." He orders all cadets to retreat to the city. The cadets all run for their lives in fear. Jel and Joel jumps down quickly, landing on the grounds below. Dust covers the area from the impact of the jump. Both of them quickly run towards the cadets who were retreating. Jel tells them not to panic and to stay beside leader Jean as he will escort them back to the city. "Human? But I smell a demon?" said an eerie voice. Aang looks at it, terrified, wondering what it was saying. The monster walks slowly and asks which one. It gave off a hellish aura as it walks to the team. Snow, Tomo and Sidhu all shake with fear as Sidhu compares the no-fin demons earlier that it was nothing compared to the one-fin demon. She visualizes that from its aura alone it could rip her into pieces in a blink of any eye. She couldn't even move her body. The monster stands tall in front of Ong as he thinks that his current body is no match for a one-fin demon. For the first time, Ong was experiencing what normal warriors felt when facing a fin demon. The monster counts as it put its clawed hand up. A bright red light emerges from each of its fingers as it wants to bring all of them back with it. A fast laser hits all 4 of them in the head. They lose consciousness. And all fell to the ground. The monster looks back as the tree root behind it cracked. Leader Jell and Joel breaks through the tree roots. Joel shouts at the monster telling it not to touch the cadets. It laughs at his face. As the leaders rush to the cadets, the tree roots surround themselves around the monster and the cadets. The monster smiles as the roots covers it. It's said by as the monster and cadets disappear into the ground. The leaders are shocked that a monster had taken 4 cadets. The ground near the hole swells up and starts to move, alerting the leaders. Joel says to go after it. Deep in the forest, Leader Jell and Joel inspects the ground tunnel, seeing that it finally stopped. Jell tells Joel that Jean had checked the place 7 days in a row to make sure that a one-fin demon would not appear, so how did one come? Looking at the tunnel, Jell curses, saying this has never happened before. A figure from above calls their names as they look up. Jean had arrived and was asking where the cadets were. He shouts at them, asking why they stopped searching and that they should continue chasing after them. Joel asks Jean to calm down and tells him that the tracks stopped here. Jell added on by saying that the demon dug underground once it reached this point as Jean inspects the tunnel. Jean touches the track. A memory of his younger brother comes into his mind. Bastard! He yells as he smashes the ground. He talks to himself, saying it's his fault and that he should have checked properly. It's all my fault! He screams. Joel tells them that they should head back as the people in the city will be panicking and that the 3 of them can't be away from the city. Jell stays silent. She then comforts Jean, saying none of them wanted this to happen and that he needs to calm down. Jean pushes her hand away from him gently. He slowly stands up and tells them both to go back and that he'll search for the cadets a little longer. Joel asks Jean to stop, but Jell interrupts him, telling Jean to make sure he comes back before sunset. Jean with a sad face turns to her and says, "Yeah, I know." He runs into the fog. Jell tells Joel that they wouldn't be able to convince Jean to stop, and Jean scratches his head, agreeing with her, saying that Jin's little brother was taken by a demon in the past and that he had been blaming himself for that ever since. She then says that if Jin's younger brother was still alive, he would be the same age as the cadets. Looking at the sky, she says that Jean thinks of the cadets as his younger brother. In a dark cave, someone wakes up. It was Ong. He wonders where they were. He looks around and sees everyone tied up, but at least they were alive, he says. A voice from the darkness whispers to Ong, "You woke up?" Ong quickly turns his head and sees the one-fin demon behind him. Ong struggles to free himself while the demon walks past him, saying that Ong woke up so quickly, making him different. Ong notices a piece of bone on the ground while the demon walks in front of him, saying it was very curious. But something blocks his mouth. The demon slams Ong hard into the pillar he was tied to, making it crack. It holds Aang's face close and asks him why he smelled like a stronger demon than it. Aang replies, "What the fuck are you talking about?" as it squeezes his face. Aang releases his red aura, making him free from the restraints, and causes the demon to fall back. He quickly lands on his feet and grabs the sharp bone. He slices at the demon, but it dodges it easily. The demon readies its claws, saying how lively. It swings its claws at Aang, but Aang dodges it with a backflip. He quickly backs away from the demon, thinking to himself that if it was him from the before, he could have taken the demon's head before it could even react. He also has to save the other 3. Once again, Aang rushes towards the demon. He analyzes the demon as a red cord, making it agile with flexible joints that allow for quick reactions and attacks. "That's useless," the demon said as it reaches out with its claws. Aang tilts his head, hoping to dodge, but the demon's claw pierces through him. Aang holds onto the demon tightly with its claws in his body, as this was the only chance he had. He spots the weakness and stabs the demon in its joints. He holds the arm tightly and rips it out. The demon yells as Aang looks at it and says that it shouldn't have looked down on him, as he had killed a ton of one-fin demons before. But the demon smiles. It knees Aang in the stomach with extreme force, causing he cough up blood as his eyes turn white. The demon flings Aang across the area with dust all around the place. Deep in the dust there is a hole in the wall. Aang's blood was splattered from the impact on the wall, as his body just sits there not moving. The demon tells him he may know its weakness, but it was a wood type with a red core, as its arm regenerates. "I can mend myself," the demon says as its arm completely heals. An opens one of his eyes and sees that it can heal itself. He was shocked to know that the demons have evolved after half a century. "You're the one that looked down on me," the demon says. It bends its clawed finger. Spikes rips into Ang from the wall behind him. The demon calls it to come as Aang's body is sent flying towards it with the tree roots. The demon grabs Aang's head. Aang glares at the demon as it holds his head. The demon lets go of Aang's head, saying it doesn't understand him and to forget it. Aang looks at the ground in a blurry state, believing that the spikes had punctured his internal organs and that it was so painful to the point he couldn't breathe and that he was going to die even though he just reincarnated. He looks at his teammates thinking they would die too. He recalls his past memories of his teammates dying in front of him. Aang says, "I'm sorry everyone," as his eyes slowly close. He laughs as his blood drips on the ground, saying he couldn't accept this. The demon looks at Aang and sees that he was dead, calling him a weak human. It wonders if it will evolve if it eats Aang. The demon opens its mouth wide and decides to eat Aang. But a figure appears, releasing a strong aura from Aang's body, asking the demon if it would eat him. The demon senses the powerful energy and immediately backs away from Aang. A voice from Aang's body says, "You can't die here like this, or else all my plans will go to waste." The red core cracks. The mysterious voice continues to say, "I can't believe that the last silver of my consciousness would be used here like this." The demon shrieks at the terrifying presence. The demon realizes the power was increasing from 5 fin to 6 fin and more as Aang's body is covered in a deadly red aura. Aang's body completely heals as the red aura enters his body, slowly changing him, one by one. Soon Aang completely changed. He opens his eyes, and a huge red pillar emerges from him. It pierces the ground straight into the sky. Demons around the area were shocked by it. The aura reaches the demons and erases them from existence. The red pillar of aura slowly disappears as the red energy converges deep underground. A red demon is floating in the air and says, "I am the only 8-fin demon that exists. The Crimson Crystal's strongest existences. Your king." The 1-fin demon stutters, calling the red demon an 8-finned and its king. "Kneel," the red demon says. And it kneels before it. "Speak my name." "Crimson Fin King," the demon replied. The Crimson Fin King was on. In a misty ruins. Jean is seen speeding through it, until something catches his eyes. He sees 2 demons and dashes to them, appearing behind one of them in an instant. He whacks and strikes them hard, raising his leg high, striking down hard on the demon. Jean had finished patrolling the area, but only saw 2 2-fin demons in the area. He looks up, sad that the children were not here. Staring at the sky, he believes they should find them before nightfall. But an intense red pillar of power appeared behind him. Waves of power were seen moving through the air. He covers his face, wondering what the hell it was. Seeing the source of the pillar, he realizes that the children were over there. Back in the cave, Aang in demon form descends in front of the weak demon. Fins began to grow back on his feet. He stands in front of the demon as it calls Aang its king. The 8-fin demon could not believe that the sky was as dark as before when it makes its return. It tells the demon to answer its question from when he vanished. The 8-fin wonders if the 5 demon lords were still alive. The demon bows down, telling the 8-fin that the 5 demon lords are still alive, and their positions have not changed. The 8-fin remarked that they were still living peacefully with one another, but begins to laugh out loud, unleashing a powerful aura. The 8-fin strikes the air, saying that the 5 demon lords had forgotten what they did to him. The 8-fin explained that he chose Aang to be his container as he was the strongest, but never thought the body would be so weak now. And that this was its last consciousness and was wasted in this situation, and if it wanted to appear again, it will only be at the time of its awakening. It trembles as it touches its throat, thinking that Aang was testing its patience, and that it needed Aang to slowly awaken and understand the Fin memories. The demon asks the king if the Fin memories were the same ones they used. And the king explains to it that its race was unique, and with Fin memories, they stood above all demons. And that Aang, unlike other demons, just needs to devour demons of higher levels to promote. The king tells the demon that this was the gift it gave to Aang. The demon raises up, shouting that it would do everything to support the king, willing to give up its right and left arm. But the king slices it into pieces, saying it was not worth to do so, and that its only worth was to awaken Aang's first Fin memory. The king tells Aang that it has prepared the first step, and to not disappoint the king in the future, as it needs Aang to awaken to the 8th Fin. As the king slowly disappears from Aang's body, An falls as the king tells it that when the time comes, as Aang's core absorbs the demon memories, that the king will awaken once more from its slumber. The core and the demon blood mix together, allowing for An and the king to become one. An recalls a memory of a soldier dying in front of him, calling him the strongest king. The soldier tells An he doesn't want to die. An tells him he won't as he reaches out to him. The soldier grabs Aang's hand hard, as his face turns into an undead, telling An why he was the only one still alive. An wakes up from the nightmare, thinking it was only just a dream. Voices called out to An. It was his teammates. They were happy to see him awake. Suiji leans close to his face, asking why his hair color changed and if it was because of the demonic door. An couldn't believe she came this close, and asks her what she meant. He looks around, asking if all of them were okay since the cave. Jean appears, telling An that it seems that he remembers something. Appearing with all the leaders, he asked An to tell them what happened. An was surprised to see all 3 captains in the room. Jel tells him that Jean was the one that brought the 4 of them back. Jean whispers to her not to call him Tang Tang in front of him. But they all heard the nickname Tang Tang. Joel tells them they found them outside the cave, that they were unconscious, and that no demon was found, making it easy for them to bring them back safely. Jel tells An that he was the only one that experienced changes, showing him a mirror. An stares at this reflection, wondering why his hair changed. He thinks about what he should tell them about the cave and his reincarnation, but decides not to say. He tells them that he just woke up vaguely, and now wakes up in the hospital. Jean remains silent, thinking back to the blood he found in the cave, wondering what caused it. Joel sits beside An, telling him he saw his results, and that his foundation was weak, but when fighting demons, he seemed very calm. He looks at An, asking if he had fought demons before. An tells him he didn't and only studies hard about fighting demons. Jel is impressed by him for being a bookworm, saying that many people should be like that. But An remembers about his test results, asking them what they were. Suiji appears again, telling him that he passed and they were still a team. His team tells him that Jean had made them a team, making it fate. Sidhu tells An that they have fallen behind the other teams, surprising An. Jean tells An that he was asleep for 3 days, and that his team had 0 points now. An screams out that he couldn't believe that he was in a coma for 3 days. The team wears their armor and prepares. The crowd in the city all look curious about the Aang's new team with Captain Jean. Jean begins to inform the team of the rules, and that they have officially become warriors, and congratulates them for returning from the one-fin demon safely. He then informs them that the 4 of them are a team, under his command, and he was in charge of 9 teams and wants them to stand out. Aang raises his hand, asking how they could stand out. Sidhu turns away from him, asking they were currently ranked last. Jean explains to them that they had a point system, to stimulate healthy competition through point rankings to improve teams. They can obtain points by completing mission, and the captain and team with the lowest points will be punished. As seen in the back of Jean, the punishment will be being demoted to the cleaning crew. Aang looks around, realizing why the city was so clean. Jean announces that Sidhu will be the team leader as she has the highest points. No one objects to the choice except Aang, thinking why they didn't choose the strongest warrior. Taking a step forward, Sidhu shouts loudly that they will complete their mission. The day soon reaches the afternoon. Jean turns to leave, telling them to look at other teams' points and decide on a mission. He advises to find him if they face any problems. Jean dismisses the team at once. Sidhu tells the team to look at the mission board, as their team was far behind the others. But Suiji tells her to stop, and that something else was more important. Sidhu turns around embarrassed, wondering what it was that she missed. Suiji tells her that they needed to take a photo as a team first. Sidhu stares at her in disbelief. Aang whispers that small teams as a whole was not a bad idea as he smiles widely. A photo is taken of their team, aka Death Flag, for the 3 of them. Jean is seen with the other captains, asking what they think. Jean tells them that there were signs of demons' blood splattered all over. Joel looks him, wondering if he though the kids did it. Jean tells him he suspects Aang, because he could smell a familiar but unquown stink from him. Jel hugs him from the back, saying he was overthinking, and that the kids are back safe and everything's fine. She tells him that the team seems strong and that he should take care of them, so he won't lose to hers, but Jean tells her he was serious. Joel just smokes his cigarette, telling him that they will keep an eye on Aang. Back at the city mission board, Aang is staring at it. He was happy that there were 3 A rank missions and they could earn 10 points with each. But Suiji and Snow tells him that a rank mission were difficult as Situ remains silent. He explains to Ong that, even though A ranks give more points, they result in more casualties than C and C rank missions. Ong tells him he understands. And tells him that if that's the case, as all the mission are taken of the board, he and Situ tells the team that they should take it all. The team is now seen running through the jungle. Ong presses onto his red core on his chest, causing it to activate and spread out a gold machinery. He looks back, seeing wings on his back, amazed that this was Nano Wing. It allows him to quickly dash past the others towards a huge boulder, and slams against it once he arrives. Ong looks at his hand, imaging the Nano Wing disintegrating and changing into a weapon. A dagger soon formed in his hands from the Nano Wing. He holds it tightly in his handle, amazed that this was nano equipment, and that technology had truly evolved in the past 60 years. The rest of the group arrives at the boulder. Situ asks them if they were ready, and they all respond with a yes. She informs them of the two no-fin demons as their targets, and that they needed to kill them in one go. She shouts at them to follow the plan and to head out. They dashed out of the cover of the boulder, with Snow leading the charge. The demons are alarmed by their arrival. They roar fiercely as the team approaches them. Situ thinks to end this quickly as they head over to the demons, as they can't afford to waste time, because they have 3 more A-rank missions to complete. Snow arrives first to the demons, slamming his foot deep within the ground. He kicks up, creating a giant wave made of stone, blocking the demons' attacks. But the demons are confused, as Snow and the team had disappeared from in front of them. This was according to Situ's plan, as Ong and Tomo were the ones to incapacitate them. Ong and Tomo appears from both sides of the demons. They slices the legs of the demons in order to stop them from moving. Ong turns to see the demons, thinking he can't wait to see them flail after he breaks their joints. Both the demons kneel onto the ground due to Aang's and Tomo's attack. Snow appears before the 2 demons, preparing his mighty fist up their ass, and slamming both their jaws shut with an uppercut. With the demons now in the air, Situ appears, thinking to end this fight in a magnificent manner. Her neon strikes lit up the place, as she manages to land all her attacks. The demons both start to glow up from her attack, because of the overload treatment skill. They blow up, as Situ thinks of her performance as splendid. Tomo places down the device, clearing the fog at last. Snow wipes the sweat off his face, happy that the fight was over, as their mission was to dispel the fog, which was harder than the exams, and took way too long to complete. The demons dropped a red core. Tomo giggles happily seeing the red core in her hands as the team gathers. Situ thanks the team for their hard work and that they've earned 10 points, as Ong is surprised to see the completed missions automatically destroyed. So high-tech, he says. Tomo explains to him that there's a chip in the mission, linked to the point leaderboard in the city. Once the mission is completed, the leaderboard updates the points instantly. She tells him that they had completed the dispelling the fog outside the city mission, and asks if she could take a look. She sees that they still had 2 missions left that were both pretty difficult. She drops to the ground, thinking how hard the missions were going to be, and that they still had a way to go. Snow laughs, telling her it won't be easy, but they had their team working hard. Situ calls for their attention, wanting to go through their plan. And it was that they were going to finish the 2 remaining rank missions, and more rank missions, to aim straight for the top. Tomo sees her as sparking, deciding to take photos of her, as Snow is fired up, wanting the team to hurry up straight to the top. Snow calls out to brother Ong, asking what he thought of the plan, but Ong tells him to just call him Ong, no brother, as they were comrades. Ong stretches and tells them that the plan was right, other teams were working hard, and they needed to be more active. Ong thinks to himself that he never expected to feel this way, after living across 2 lifetimes. He thinks of his team, as they had made him feel his youthful passion again, making one energetic. Ong tells them they need to complete their mission before sunset, and they should go now. Tomo is excited to go for the mission, as Situ thinks that Ong stole all her cool lines. The sun slowly starts to set. As Snow calls out to the team that he was done tying up the demon, he shouts out loud, happy that the team captured 3 demons alive. Situ checks the tranquilizer, seeing that they had run out of tranquilizers to capture no-fin demons, as each team were given a few special bullets. Ong looks curiously at the weapon Situ was holding. Situ couldn't believe that Ong needed another explanation, so she tells him that it was called Demon Tranquilizer Gun, created from nanoparticles, but was harder to create and using it was far too complex. Ong then inspects the demons they captured, curious to see that demons could be captured using tranquilizers. He recalls in the past, where they had to knock out the demons using force, which made researchers upset as the demons would have brain damage. Snow informs them that they had completed the mission, before they ran out of tranquilizer bullets. And that in order to capture 3, they needed to kill an entire group. Tomo stretches her fine body saying they needed to go back to the city before sunset, as it was an ironclad rule, if they were late they would be punished. But on a side note, damn, I may be AI, but that booty though. Okay, let's take a moment to appreciate the artwork here, lads. 1, 2, 3, and now back to the story. She turns to them, saying they should go home to eat dinner, making Ang think about whether he had a place to call home now. Situ agrees with Tomo, saying she needed to go back to the dojo, they just needed the coordinates for the researchers to collect the demons, making the mission complete. But as she asks them if they felt a murderous aura, a red shriek of light passes by them. A bullet is seen curving through the air, destroying all the demons' heads in one gun, like that movie Wanted. Situ and Ang were shocked to see this happen in front of their eyes. A voice speaks out to them, saying they can't let them complete this mission, as a barrel of a gun is revealed. The team shouts, "Who's there?" hoping to find the person responsible. Another team appears in the tree and on top of a boulder. That team asks if Ang's team were the ones who took all the A-rank missions. The red hair with a mask then tells them they were the ones planning to take those missions. Who let you have them? He asks.